07917 71 71 44 or text COMP followed by your answer and name to 57117. Calls from the Air network will cost €2.03. Calls from other networks may be higher. Viewers in Northern Ireland can also text to 57117 or call the number on screen. You must be over 18 to enter. Lines will close at midday on Monday, October 1st, and we will be contacting the lucky winner next Monday, so tune in for that. Now, the fantastic weather over the summer, it put a smile on many of our faces and, well, farmers as well. It worried them a lot. I know we had massive problems with water at home on the island. But there were some unforeseen consequences as a result of the heat.
Drone operators working throughout the summer months made some astonishing finds in our landscape. We are delighted to have two of those guys with us now. We have Anthony Murphy and we have Matthew Kelly. Good to have you guys.
Hi guys, how are things?
When we were basking in the beautiful sun, you were out working hard, is it fair to say?
Yeah, flying the drones up in the sky over the landscape in fabulous weather.
And what do you do? What do you work at?
As a day job, I work for the Farmers Journal, ironically, as a sub-editor and graphic designer. So I do this thing on the side. It's called Mythical Ireland. I write books about the ancient.
Well, it's wonderful because obviously with the journal as well, you're close to the land in your work in ways, and then it's great to actually do that. It's very exciting. I think the pictures you get from drones are absolutely amazing.
It's a new way of looking at the landscape, and particularly when you're dealing with large monuments, they're actually best viewed from the air. You know?
So the higher up you go, the better view you'll have in one sense. And Matthew, you're the guy with the software behind all this as well.
I have a company called DroneStar. We make software for drones for search and rescue. And I've been in drones for maybe 4 years, and I've been fascinated with the monuments of Ireland. So when the drones came out, first of all, I was out using the drones years ago.
And we have a new hinge, have we?
Excuse me. Yes, this is your first shot we're going to take a look at now here.
Yeah, this is a monument discovered by myself and Ken Williams on the evening of the 10th of July. It's located about 750 metres from Newgrange in the UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a type of monument that the archaeologists think is a henge. It's not like the ones in the immediate vicinity, because the other ones that are in the area are generally embanked. They have a clear sort of bank feature around them, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is true because the soil is moist and all this type of thing. Tell us exactly what, now, we're seeing this from the air, but, you know, physically, what can you find on the ground if you were to see that now?
Well, this is the incredible thing. After that field was harvested, you could see nothing.
Right.
Essentially, you're seeing the image of archaeology on the top of the crop, but the actual archaeological features are several feet beneath the surface.
How does that work, even?
Well, it's to do with the drought.
Yeah.
The pits and ditch features of the monuments retain the trace moisture in the ground just a little bit more than the surrounding soil,
leaving that imprint, if you like.
So it's like taking an old-fashioned thing, like tracing something through. It's almost like that, isn't it? That's what you see from the air. It's almost like what's deep inside is almost elevated.
Yeah, the crop that's growing out of the archaeological features is actually slightly greener and healthier.
It's different.
And so you see a contrast in the top of the crop, you know. But a few weeks after that footage was taken, we had a little bit of rain in the Boyne Valley, and the crop had sort of ripened out and greened out, and the image had disappeared anyway.
Gone.
So it was only there for a few weeks.
So Matthew, so if we didn't have this fantastic weather, we wouldn't know about this at all?
No, and it was only a small window of opportunity to find these monuments. When I heard about Anthony's discovery, I went out the next day because, you know, it might already be too late because it disappeared so quickly. So I went to Dundalk. I actually knew Anthony before. I followed his blog, and there was a place in Dundalk called Ireland's Stonehenge that was discovered 100 years ago. There was a drawing of it, and then it was disappeared.
Was that in Dundalk, was it?
In Dundalk, yeah. And I went up there thinking maybe I'll find something with the conditions. I didn't find anything, but I did find further circles. I found actually 10 circles, 2 in one field and 8 in another.
Is that what we're looking at here now?
Yeah, that's actually the first 2 I found. They're 2. Those ones would be 1,500 to 2,000 years old, and they're a bit unusual that they're facing each other.
They're quite large. Look at them. Perspective to the houses there. That's what, you know.
Yeah, and were there near rivers or anything like that? Or?
No, they're not. It's not too far. There isn't. The sea would be the closest part to that. So maybe 4,000 years ago, maybe the sea went up further. Maybe they chose that location for that place.
Like, so you'd have to ask the question, right? If we were to get more weather like this, say next summer, what else is out there? What else could we find?
Well, the potential is there. I mean, to be honest, I've studied the Brunabonia landscape for 20 years. Never in a million years would I have thought there's another henge there. That thing is 175 metres in diameter. It's nearly 5,000 years old. This is in a UNESCO World Heritage Site that has been studied by archaeologists for decades. So it just goes to show you the potential for discoveries. I think National Monuments recently announced that there had been something like 66 reports of new discoveries over the summer. So obviously,
was that a lot of drone, is it?
Yeah, an awful lot of that is to do with the drones. The last time we had weather conditions like this was 1976, at a time when drones didn't exist. And aerial archaeology was a very expensive thing.
You didn't even have helicopters with cameramen in them or anything like that there at the time when you think about it.
Yeah.
So what's the next stage now for, say, that discovery of yours? As you said, it disappeared again. I mean, what will happen or what could potentially happen next?
Well, it's on a working farm. It's on Newgrange farm, and the farmer will be getting on with his business there of probably planting next year's crop. The actual archaeology, as I say, is several feet beneath the surface. It's one of 132 prehistoric monuments in the Bend of the Boyne.
I wonder how,
in such a small area.
Can you tell, though, from what you saw there, if potentially it's a huge discovery or not? You know, if there's much left of it, you can't really, can you? It's just an outline.
Well, what we can tell from the imagery is that there are features of this henge, let's call it an enclosure, that are entirely unique to. They've never seen this in an Irish henge before. That segmented double ditch feature, that's never been seen before.
What would that mean?
Is that a chamber or what?
No, these are ditch features. These are actually sections of the earth that have been dug out.
Okay.
So we don't actually know the purpose of henges. You know, we know that they were likely to be in large gathering places. So in contrast to the passage tombs like Newgrange, where small groups of people gathered for burial ceremonies.
For ritual.
Yeah, but these things were for much larger gatherings, maybe seasonal gatherings. This one might have been a seasonal thing or a temporary structure, a timber henge.
Could it? Yeah, okay, so it could be that. It could be a timber henge.
Yeah.
Okay.
The rings of post holes around the edge are likely to have supported timbers. But what was it for and how long did it last? I mean, these are all...
That's part of the mystique of the whole thing, though, I suppose, that we don't know in one sense, and we can leave our imaginations fly away with ourselves, Matthew.
Yeah, that's true. The finds I got in Dundalk, archaeologist Stephen McGlade said it's a ring barrow graveyard. So within those ring forts there would be remains about 4,000 years old. But yeah, as to what they were for, we don't know. And it's kind of funny, we're using the latest technology to rediscover the ancient technology.
Yeah, let's talk about the technology for a moment. And when you talk about drone footage even, I mean, it's certainly become a lot sharper. It's very popular now, and I mean, a lot of people do complain about them. It's privacy issues, that type of thing, and you know. But from your perspective, certainly, I mean, are there really high-end drones as opposed to? I mean, how far can you go? I suppose I'm asking you with that type of footage.
Yeah, it's got to a level now where well, it's all about the camera. Years ago, you needed very big drones to lift very big cameras. And now everything's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and now you've got a 4K camera on a very, very small drone. So, you know, it opens up to a huge amount of areas. And,
but it's sharp. The pictures are very good.
Yeah,
we have a lovely picture here as well. It's not one of yours, but I think this is
this is very interesting.
And these era, they're all around Ireland. They're from World War II, I think. So if the Nazi planes were coming in, that they weren't bombing Britain. That was the whole idea. So we
I suppose they've been lost even in
I know there's
memory.
one in Mayo as well.
Yeah.
And there are a few other places all around Ireland, but it was to tell the Germans, look, you're not in Britain, you're in Ireland.
Yeah. And what are they made? Is that just in the rock? Is it
it's
cut
stone,
out in the rock?
I think it's stones actually laid down more.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I was at one of them years and years ago, and the fascinating things altogether.
Okay, very
so
good.
I think it was part of a gorse fire out in Braehead during
of course
the summer.
it would have. But I suppose that it's unlimited, really, when you think about what you can discover with drones.
Yeah, and as I said, because of the potential for new discoveries. And the thing is, a lot of these discoveries have been made by amateurs. They're not being made by professional archaeologists, you know.
Yeah. It's great as well, I suppose, as you mentioned, the work with search and rescue. That's so important as well, that what drone footage can actually do and help in that side of things.
Yeah, it's really important because you know, it keeps the searchers out of harm's way.
Yeah, it does. And go to places they can't go.
Yeah, certainly.
Thank you both very much.
Thanks a million.
We'll have you back after next summer if the weather's very, very good again. Hopefully we'll have some new discoveries.
And a bit of archaeology, a bit of digging, yeah.
Now, what is it like to travel with the official entourage on the Pope's plane? Ralph Regal was in there.
Yes.
We also will be chatting about that famous Mayo jersey. Look at it. He says, Francis says Mayo will win the... to be chatted about And everything else after the break.
We'll see you then.
In the last 60 years, traditional music in Ireland and Scotland has undergone an